Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Resin Me Up. Oops, I forgot to clean my cup. I poured these pumpkins this morning for a mold because I forgot to do that the other day when we were on the video. Guys, I've been running myself ragged lately. It was 1 a.m. before I got to bed last night. Obviously, by the time you guys noticed, I got my video published. Today, as you can see, I've got more molds out on my table, but the main thing we're going to focus on today is the bathtub mold and the skeleton mold. And I'm just going to toss this. I don't feel like cleaning it today. These three here, and these are all cabochon molds. Well, not cabochon, they're flatbacks. And, as you know, I'm making miniatures. So I'll probably be pouring some of these with extra resin. Now, I also forgot to show you the extra that I poured with the extra resin the other day too, and so we're going to get that out of here. So here's the pumpkin that I finished filling up, the shiny. Ooh, look at that. It ripped. That's never good. I mean, it is a couple years old, but still. I mean, these molds are probably, they can only stretch so many times. Let me clean the top of this off. And the tops of these are kind of thin anyway when they make them. So see where it ripped right there? All right, now this is the shiny, and I poured orange in there. See if I can get this out without ripping that any further. Okay. All right. So there is the glow in the dark orange pumpkin. And I'll have to show it to you later when the lights are out. And then the other mold I poured with extra resin is the big pumpkin. And I just poured it clear. And I mixed in, those extra colors, that purple, for the wind chime, the purple, the blue, and I think orange, maybe. That was what was left over. And I just marbled it in there with clear resin. So I have no clue. I've never marbled glow in the dark. So we're just going to have to see how that comes out. And the lid, I just poured clear because that's all I had left. So that's what that lid looks like, clear. Isn't that pretty? All right, let's get this out of here and see what it looks like. Clean off these while I'm at it. All right, there's that. Okay. marbled pretty good. Set these over here so they're out of the way. So looky there. So I poured in the good grief, blue, the sky blue, the purple, and the orange. So it did pick up every one of them. How cool is that? I've never marbled the glow-in-the-dark colors before. And I do have some overage on the bottom. So I'll just cut that off. There. That takes care of that. So I'll be really curious to see how this turns out when you light it up. To see all the different colors. Let me get a regular flashlight here. I've learned that you can use a regular flashlight and it'll light these up too. One of my subscribers asked me if you have to use a UV light to light up glow-in-the-darks. No, you don't. I use this flashlight, and then also my LED lights in here in this room. They do a really good job after they've been sitting, you know, under them all day. And because at night when I shut my lights off, everything in this room glows that has glow-in-the-dark powder in it. And I don't think we're going to be able to see anything until I shut lights off. So let me set these over here and let them sit. Oh, let me put the lid on so you can see what it looks like. So that's what it looks like. Isn't that cute? I can't wait to see what it looks like glow in the dark. I'm going to set them over here, and then I'll try to remember to show them to you before we end the video for the day. Okay? All right, on to today's projecto. So this, I'm going to make me a skeleton. We're going to pour the bathtub and the feet. This will all be extra. So I've had this mold for a couple years, and good grief, it's kind of yucky on the back. And it is a full-fledged skeleton body. And so after you pour it, you have to let it not cure 100%, because when you take it out, if you need to bend it to a certain shape or whatever, then you take that out and then you bend it and then put it together, like glue it together, and then let that cure into that shape. And so Mr. Skeleton is going to be sitting inside the bathtub. So that's what I'll be doing, is shaping him into that. And so that's what we're going to do with him. And then the bathtub, we're going to pour up to that halfway mark in one color. And then the bottom half of it is going to be clear. And I'm going to put something in the clear so that it looks like water. And yeah, so let me mix up some resin, and we're going to make the little feet black. And I think, actually, we probably better make them glow in the dark, because everything has to be glow in the dark. So let me get my plan together, mix up some resin, and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, got my colors mixed up, got my resin mixed up. Got to hurry because I don't want this to get hot. So the black, we're going to pour in the base of this tub around the rim. Okay, I'll finish filling all these up with all this extra, and then we'll be back on demold. Or actually, we'll be back when we need to fill that up. Sorry. Okay? All right. BRB. Okay, guys, welcome back. So we're going to pour the rest of the bathtub here, and I started putting together the skeleton, but I got a new batch of resin in of the Bond Crafter, and I'm a little befuzzled. It's cloudy. Now, I just mixed it up. I just ran it through my vacuum chamber, and I don't know if it's going to clear up or if it's going to stay like that. They're cups. They're everything. Strange. Well, I guess we'll see if it clears, or I mean if it cures. Like I said, it's their cups, their resin, their everything. Never seen Bond Crafter come out cloudy like that. Their resin has always been very clear. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up my sky blue. So I guess here goes nothing. All right. Spritz. And I do have some left, so I got a couple other molds over here. Little molds I can fill up. Got some skulls here. And some more bats. And I have these little skull hands. That I can fill up. All right, y'all. We'll see you on demold. Okay, y'all. I have unmolded a lot of stuff just because I wanted to try to speed up this process because I don't want to be up till 1 o'clock in the morning. So these are all the extras that I poured. They're all unmolded. Now, I want to show you guys something. When I mix the resin for this second half, and I told you it was the Bond Crafter, and I showed you that it looked really cloudy, which is really odd for Bond Crafter, and got this poured, got the extras poured, and then all of a sudden it started to get hot, and it hadn't even been 15 minutes since the time I poured it in the cup, mixed it, ran it through the vacuum chamber, mixed in the colorant, and started pouring it. So this is what I want to show you, because this is what happens when your resin gets so hot that it's like so close to getting to a flash cure. I poured these 2 pumpkins fast, like really fast. So when your resin gets so hot and you pour it, this is what happens. See all those little micro bubbles in there? That's what happens. Because the resin is getting ready to go in, to the exothermic stage. And that's what you get, is all these little micro bubbles. I see so many questions in the Let's Resin group that I'm in on Facebook, and they want to know why they get this. Well, that's why. Wait till you see this. This is the matte mold. It is just riddled with them. And you can tell by looking at the bottom of the mold how hot that resin got. And like I said, the Bond Crafter has a very long work time, but for some reason this resin just isn't right. I don't know. I emailed my rep to find out what's going on. I didn't get full stems on these because, like I said, I was in a rush to get this out of the cup because it was really heating up. So I'm not sure if this is just a bad batch or what the deal is, but I wanted to show you, especially my new subs that are just starting out in resin, this is what happens when your resin gets so hot that it's and the heat can't go anywhere. It creates all of these little micro bubbles, and that's what that looks like. I did this on purpose because I wanted to show you what it looks like when this happens. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Isn't that crazy? And you can really see on the bottom of this one, because I poured this one first and then I poured this one, and it was really hot by this point, and you can see it on the bottom. So yeah, so there you go. Good example. All right, this is the bathtub, and I did get bubbles around there, and I'm looking and I'm seeing bubbles here too. I hope that it's not literally bubbles, because I'll be upset, because it wasn't when I poured it. It hadn't started to get hot yet at this point. Oh yeah, look at all that. Yeah, there's definitely something up with this resin, and I'm not sure what it is, but this is going to be a mess. This may be a total fail all the way around. I don't see all those micro bubbles. Let me wipe this off. Actually, let me go rinse it off. I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah, it's riddled with bubbles everywhere, but I mean, it's a bathtub, so does it really matter? I suppose not. So, and these are the feet. Let's see if I can figure out how these go on here. So I think they go on like this, facing out. I mean, that's the way I would think they would go out. They're going to have to be glued in there, so it would sit like that. So I'm going to have to put some UV resin down inside there. Okay, so my skeleton, I was working on it, and I was having issues getting these stuck in here. It's still very bendy, so I decided I was going to wait to get the bathtub done so that I could see about where I needed, because, and I may not, yeah, that'll work just like that. I mean, he just needs to sit in there just like that. Okay, well, that helps. So I used the bonding resin from Let's Resin to get his legs in there. At first I was putting them on there wrong because because I was like, why is his foot turned in like that? Well, that was why. So let's go ahead and get his legs on here. Okay, let me put you on pause. I gotta blow my nose. Okay. All right. Now, so we're going to bend him at his spine to sit him in there. And we're going to bend his arm like this. This isn't the best skeleton, I'd have to say. I'd have been better off getting one that was plastic. Okay. Well, that's where he's going to sit. I mean, if I could get one of his legs to hang over, I would, but that's not going to happen. Because they just don't bend that great. I wanted his legs to bend at the knee, you know, and have him sitting in there with his legs or his knee bent. But when I tried that, it's like I said, it's still fairly bendy. It doesn't bend like it's supposed to. So we're just going to leave it just like that and have his feet poking out at the top here. Okay, let me get him glued in there, secured, and then I'll get the feet glued on too, because I need to do that from this way, and then I'll have to figure out what we're going to do from there. Okay, all right, BRB. Okay, guys, I got everything intact. I forgot to unmold this. This was an extra, and I think I'm going to surprise you with what I'm going to do with that too. So I'm mixing up my resin, and while that's doing that, I wanted to show you, look at these. I unmolded them, and this spells Halloween, and each letter has a little character on it. And so I painted the little character with my Artex markers. Let's see if I can get them all here on my hand. Barely, but I got them there. So can you see that? So the H has a cat with a spider web. The A has a hat, a ghost, a bat, a witch's cauldron, a spell book, a pumpkin, a ghost, and a broom. And I painted them all. And of course, they glow in the dark. Aren't those cute? Huh? Haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with them. You'll just have to wait and see. Well, I've decided, but you'll just have to wait and see. So as soon as I get my resin mixed up here, I will get it poured. And then there's a whole bunch of extras over here. This was a broom, an owl. I think that's a haunted house, a cat, a witch's hat, a moon with a witch's hat, and the rest are ghosts and bats. And then these were little pumpkins with hats. Oh, and I dropped it in there with Mr. Skeleton. And there were 4 different ones. Yeah, 5 different ones. Little pumpkins with faces. And these, I didn't like how they came out. They were supposed to be with faces on them, but none of the faces came out. So, and that could have been the resin too. So, all right, let me get this resin mixed up, and then I will, well, I'll just mix it up here. I guess I'll just show you guys what I'm doing here. I think I figured out my issue with the resin. I think I cross-contaminated my paddles. I think I accidentally picked up my paddle that I mixed silicone with. And that's a big no-no. Usually I keep those completely separate. No matter how much you wipe those off, there is always going to be traces of silicone on them. And I don't know how it got over here in my cup. I was probably so tired last night I didn't think about it. And I just threw it over there. And I think that's what it was. I cross-contaminated. So that is my bad. Because I just poured a new cup of resin and it's not cloudy. And that's when I was putting on my my thing to mix this, I got to thinking, oh my God, I bet I used the silicone paddle. It's the only thing I can think of. Because when this came out of here, it was perfectly clear. I was scared to use it. And yeah. Yeah. Not good. Not good. Not good. I try to clean my paddles as soon as I use them. Sometimes things are a little crazy and I set them aside. I just need to slow down, y'all. I just need to slow down. All right. There's that. Now I just need to mix this. Ouchie. I got alcohol in that sore or that cut. Oh no. It's going cloudy. No. No. Let's just hope it's just not mixed. Hope it clears back up. Yay! Yay! It cleared back up. Those kind of things always scare me. That's why I always try to tell you guys to make sure you don't cross-contaminate, because it will make a difference. I always try to keep my stuff separate, but like I told you guys last night, I was exhausted and I probably just didn't think about it. And this morning when I mixed up my silicone, I probably picked up that silicone thing and I just threw it over there in my bucket. Didn't even think about it. Because believe it or not, that wind chime that I did yesterday took me 10 hours to do. So I was a little tired. And I was back up at 7 a.m. this morning. That's how dedicated I am to you guys. Aren't you happy? No, really, I love doing this. It's fun. It's my ultimate thing, what I love to do, or I wouldn't be doing it. I love giving you guys something to every day to watch. the highlight of my day. So that's why I get up at the crack of dawn to plan something for you all. But I know I love to do it, but I also need to slow down and be careful too. Because it's not worth it when you do silly stuff. Right? Right. Okay. Now, my nose is running. Let me get, because we got to pour up to probably his chest area with that. Let me just grab another cup here because I want to split this in half. I don't know how much it's going to take. And we got to use the sky blue. Matter of fact, why don't I just get this poured and then I'll come back to you when it's ready to be seen. How's that sound? You guys have seen me pour resin a million times, so there's really not much point in you watching me do it again because I'm always going to fast forward through it anyway. So I will be back when you're ready to look at this final project, okay? All right, bye. Okay, y'all, welcome back. This is done. Let me show you. I got this black stuff all over my table. Let me show you what it looks like here. It's over here charging in the light. Okay, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. So let me go over everything. So I filled the bathtub up with the sky blue resin. So he's covered. And then on top, for the bubble effect, I used some of these. I got these from Hobby Lobby, I think. And then I used some fairy dust glass and then also some baubles. And hold on. Sylvia's being impossible. And then with the little molds that I made today, they all went around. I got some dust here. They went around the outside of his bathtub. And so there's a hand. There's a bat. I didn't get that quite centered because I was trying to hold it and put it on there, but you see it. And then the other hand, and then on the back of his tub is a skull. And then I just kind of went around and highlighted his body with that. And I used the Rub and Buff Ebony. So I hope this is charged enough that we can see what it looks like. So I'm going to shut off the lights. Alexa, turn off craft room. Okay. And let me turn this light off, and then I'll have to bring you down. Yeah, I think it's going to need to be charged up a little bit because, oh, well, maybe not. So here's the bathtub, the skeleton in the bathtub. Hold on, let me get my turntable so you can see this. Okay, so now you can see it in all its glory all the way around. Come down to shoulder length. Isn't it cute? I put the black at the top because I wanted to separate him from the actual water. Come up closer so you can see. I want to see if you can see the sparkle in the tub. I put some sparklies in there, some fairy dust glitter. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's so cute. I love it. All right, I'll turn the lights back on. So then you can see the sparklies in there. Can you see the sparklies? Thank you, Alexa. So, yeah. So what do you guys think? Another late night. It's after 8 o'clock, I think, again. But yeah. So there you have it, guys. There's my creation for today. So I'm going to tell you guys, I won't be putting out a video tomorrow because I'm taking the day off. I know this is 31 days of Halloween, but the girls are out of school and we're going to see my daughter in Wichita. So yeah. So, so I'll be back on Saturday with a video. Anyway, so hit that like button, leave me a comment, let me know what you think about Mr. Bones taking a bath. And yeah, so if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you really should because it gets better and better every day. So yeah. All right, everyone. Remember, stay curious, stay creative, and always stay positive, and remember to be kind. And we will see you on Saturday for the next video. So remember, stay spooky. Good night, y'all. Take care.